How's it going, everyone? I'm the one and only Kaiju Sage. Welcome back to a new video, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my current Atlas strategy, having now finished all but one map, and I'm currently working on getting those last, 10, 15-ish points that come from, the Maven encounters, the special Maven encounters, fighting the last of the what do you call them, Voidstone giving bosses. So I figured now is the perfect time to show off my current Atlas strategy and what it's going to look like, basically for the foreseeable rest of the league. It's kind of an amalgamation of things, actually. I had initially made a video talking about how I was probably going to focus on Legion, but that has now changed. I decided I wanted to focus on Expedition again, and unless I just get so bored of Expedition, I'm going to be keeping my tree as I currently have this plan laid out, and I'll include a link to this in the description of the video below. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what all this strategy involves, how it all works, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. Help the channel grow as much as possible. And really appreciate all the support that we've been seeing of late. And let's keep it going. What do you say? Okay, so without further ado, let's dive in. Let's talk about my particular Atlas passive strategy here. So I'm going to zoom in a little here, and as you can see, not quite that far. As you can see here, it's a pretty standard thing. If you're focusing one of these 10 mechanics, block everything else because you get a plus 2% chance to get them in your map. So I am focusing on Expedition. So there you go. Focus specifically Expedition, block everything else. And I'm including strong boxes. And I'm also doing, so basically I'll show it all off, but it's Expedition first and foremost. Then I'm focusing on June. I'm focusing on Betrayal in order to farm Masterminds and try to farm some Devouring Diadems. They're currently worth about 2 Divines. So if you drop some Devouring Diadems, I mostly want one because I need one for my character, but I also want to farm some to sell and just make 2 easy Divines or whatever. So Expedition, Betrayal, as you can see, I've got I've got this node, I've got this node spec'd, and I've got a couple of other Betrayals. You can see over here, I've got this one, but I'll move up in a second. So, and then the last other thing is Harbinger and strong boxes and shrines, just for additional pack size, and Harbingers so that I can farm for the new currency that they added called a Fracturing Orb. Fracturing Orbs, if you get an entire full Fracturing Orb, are worth 4 Divines right now, I believe, that's what my brother told me yesterday. So I don't know, I haven't price checked it again this morning, but he said they were 4 Divines yesterday. So yikes, that's a lot of money if I can get one. They're pretty rare. I've been farming Harbingers the whole way along the way, pretty much. Haven't yet to see even one Fracturing Orb shard. So I have to wait and see. I'll let you know how that goes. But I have them in there. They're good pack density. There are a lot of rares, if nothing else. So yeah. So here you can see all of it. It's just the basic stuff. You come down here, you get a bunch of Expedition encounter chance. They do have this one new node that makes Expedition monsters spawn with 20% less life, but I just don't think that's necessary, and I think that's a waste of 5 points. And as you can see, my tree, as it finally worked out, I managed to spend all of the points that I have allocated. So I'm going to need, if I fully want to achieve all of these things, I need to get every single point that's available to me. So a couple of these things will have to wait. I will probably prioritize getting this one instead of getting this. This is a long way to go. This is 4, 5, 6, 7 points out of the way. So I would say get this as your last set of points. And you don't have to put this in here. This is just an extra point. But that 3% quantity of vendor refresh currencies really, can potentially pop off. You really have a chance to get some Tujin currencies. And as you can see up here, focusing Expedition, I've spec'd Tujin to have a 90% increased chance to show up, and Danig to have a 65% chance. Basically, even with both of these, I've still run into Gwenin and Rog a couple of times, So it's definitely worth your time to spec both of them and just have a really good chance of it being led by 𝙀𝙬 or 𝙀𝙃, and then you're good. That's all you really can do. And then I just came over here, took these things to help with, having Expedition be more worth it. You get 2 modifiers uh, in your, what do you call them? Those little totems that you blow up, and you have +2 extra remnants. And you have, explosive radius, which you don't really have to get this one. I might honestly, I'll keep it for now. I mean, this just gets you the most bang for your buck. You can literally pop it out, and they get +4%, +4%. So I pretty much get an expedition almost every map. I have not had a map in a while after getting everything, after specing all of the nodes, getting all of these like +4% chances. It usually does. You usually get an expedition every map. Now, again, like I said, a lot of times it's going to end up being Gwenin. It's going to end up being Rog. So there you go, right? What can you do? So, Expedition, I mean, it's self-explanatory. You are hoping to get as much 𝙀𝙀 action as possible. You are hoping to get logbooks that have 𝙀𝙀 in them. That is the Black Scythe artifacts and stuff like that. And you're just hoping to just spam your way through 𝙀𝙀. If you've never used 𝙀𝙀 before, he literally just gives you a shop of currency, and you just pick what you want. It can be currency, gems, like quality to gems, or level 21 gems. He can give you, he can give you maps, but I think it's basically just that. I think it's just like gems, occasionally maps, and it's mostly currency. You just flow through currency. I got, in one of my first logbooks that I ran of 𝙀𝙀 this league, I got the boss. I got Varana. You need to kill the bosses in the logbooks. If you see them, they appear like a gray skull with blue eyes, or they might have each their own symbol, but I think that's their symbol on the mini map. Anyway, you blow up their little icon, and then you fight the boss, and they drop a bunch of the reroll currency. I got 12 𝙀𝙀 rerolls from that, and then using those, I got 35 chaos, 45 chaos raw from 𝙀𝙀 just between the gambles, and a bunch of other currencies. You want to buy, you can buy out basically anything that's useful. You can buy out fusings, jewelers, if you need chromatic orbs, if you need alterations, you can buy ancient orbs, you can get annulment orbs. You can get exalts and divines. They're just very rare. But it is definitely, it's literally possible to get a stack of 10 divines from 𝙀𝙀 in his shop. Now, if you get that, that's where the second portion of this comes in. You want to have 𝙀𝙃 as someone who's showing up sometimes. 𝙀𝙃 sells all of the currencies that each of the other expedition vendors, have, and you can use his currency to exchange for others. And you're going to have to do that, and then you're going to have to rack up a bunch of 𝙀𝙀 currency over time, because they're not tradable, right? Like you can't trade for them, I don't believe, except with 𝙀𝙃 and other things. So you'll just have to start earning up a bunch of those. But that's the hope, right? You're hoping to get logbooks. If you do get a logbook that says it contains Varana on it with 𝙀𝙀, I don't know how much that's worth currently. I know in leagues past, I sold one of those for 80 chaos because 𝙀𝙀 rerolls, like I said, they can give exalts, they can give divines, they can give like basically any currency in the game within reason that isn't like a influenced currency or a boss drop only currency. That he can give you a lot of good stuff. So that's 𝙀𝙀, that's Expedition, that's the reason. And we talked about Betrayal. Betrayal is just because I want to farm the Devouring Diadem, I want to farm the Mastermind, and Betrayal is just good experience, good items. I want to have the veiled crafting mods unlocked. It's just helpful. And I now have several friends playing the game for the first time, and so I can use that like nice pool of unlocked mods. If they need something, I can just craft it for them. So it's really good. It's really nice. And yeah, and overall, like Betrayal is pretty good as far as generating some currency, generating some good items, doing some stuff. It's pretty good. Harbinger, like I said, it's Harbinger. Like you literally spawn Harbingers. I took all 3 of the Harbinger nodes because you get guaranteed 1 Harbinger. You get 25% chance to replace a Harbinger with the boss, which when this happens, it spawns like 5 or 6 Harbingers alongside a really big Harbinger, and it's really scary when it happens, but it's a lot of pack density, a ton of mobs, and then they drop a bunch of currency shards of varying types. And it's just really, really good. And then this last one over here just guarantees that the Harbingers will use all their abilities, but they also spawn their enemies faster. Because normally, if you're fighting them without this, it can kind of take a little while. Harbingers tend to just kind of run around and sit there until you kill all of their enemies. But when you spec this, they will just start flinging abilities everywhere and spawning their enemies really fast. It's just good. If you're running Harbinger and you can survive this, if you have a build capable of surviving an onslaught of like 5 ball lightnings from the Harbingers, then definitely run this. If you can't, you can unspec this, but it's good to have the second line, which currency shards dropped by Harbingers can be dropped as full currency items instead. I have dropped like 7 or 8 orbs of annulment at this point, and I've sold several. So I mean, it's just like this definitely procs pretty consistently, and it's just good generation of currency, right? Like that's literally what it is. And I think I mentioned it. I have the shrine nodes because I mean it's just fun. I mean I love shrines. Who doesn't like running up to an acceleration shrine and just zooming through a map? Plus, you get, all the other shrines. You get echo shrines, giant shrines. You do everything. You get some extra blue monsters because of this node. I might end up unspecking this if I end up needing the 2 points for it. But this is, again, more pack density, good stuff. I have Eater of Worlds stuff just because it's just I want to proc Eater of Worlds invitations and using the altars for more currency generation. And I'm literally just going to sell the Eater of Worlds invitations once I get them. Whatever they're worth. I don't know how much they're worth, but they'll be worth, double-digit chaos. They'll probably be worth 40, 50 chaos. They're not worth what they used to be. They used to be like when exalts were the thing, so it would be like they were like 1 divine. No matter what, you could sell them for like 1 divine, 1.2 divines. And there was one league where I churned through like 6, 7, 8 invitations, just blasting my map pool out. And then I spent a lot on a build and made a really, really good item or 2, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm basically just kind of doing that same thing in that same spirit. It's just, again, passive, easy generation of things. I don't have to think about it. I just literally leave the Eater of Worlds influence on no matter what, because I'm already on all over the right side of the tree, so it just fits. I've got, the Eldritch altar thing. I've got, chance to contain additional, tentacle masses and everything. I've got, this stuff that has a chance to give you an extra altar, double progress, etc., etc. The final and last thing that is my goal for the league is I want to kill 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉 this league. That is my goal for myself this league. I have not killed a single Uber boss. I've never killed the Maven, so that's my other goal. I want to beat the Uber Elder, Uber Shaper, whatever this time around. I want to beat the Maven, get all 4 Void Stones, and I want to kill 𝙀𝙀𝙋𝘼𝙉. Before I'm done with this league, those are my goals. So towards that end, I obviously have to come up through here. And right now, I only have this spec, and I believe I'm 1 point away from getting Perfect Storm. I'm going to go ahead and spec it for myself. Because like I said, I'm not quite to this point yet. What I'm showing you here, this is just on the Path of Exile browser. And I wanted to show you what my final tree is going to look like. I'm still missing about 13 points, I believe it is. I think it's like 13, 14 points. So I still have a little ways to go to finish getting this Betrayal cluster. And there was something else on here that I had to take off, but I don't remember what it was. But I have basically everything that I have spec'd here, with the exception of this Betrayal cluster, and I think I temporarily took off the Diviners, so you can definitely take that off. I always leave Arcanists procced, because when you get the doubling currency from an arc in a strongbox, it just feels good. I just love that. It's really nice. But yeah, I mean, you can eat to each their own. Figure out how you want to work it out. If you want to copy this tree, as I said, I'll include a link in the description. It's going to be a massive link. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about that. But there you go. I've talked about it. That's my plan. That's how I'm making currency this league. This is basically how it's going to stay. If I change it a month down the road, I'll let you all know, and I'll make a new video about that. But this is what it looks like. Yeah, so that's all I've got to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. I really appreciate it. Help the channel continue to grow. Let me know in the comments down below. What are you thinking about? What are your focused mechanics of this league? How are you making all of your currency? What do you think is the best way to make currency this league? If you think this is it, let me know. And if otherwise, yeah, if I enjoy your comment, I'll give it a heart. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in a new video tomorrow.